Zimbabwean situation really, as we have observed, as you might have observed over the years, that since the year 2000, the Zimbabwean economy went on a free fall. Primarily because of government's approach to land redistribution, wherein at that time, government literally took all the land, and Zimbabwean being an agro-based economy, those who took the land did not have the expertise. And in our view, the land, though it was supposed to be redistributed fairly, but it was supposed to be done based on a regulatory framework. But in this case, it didn't happen. And once that happened, the Zimbabwe Congress of Trade Unions, the labor body, actually felt the pinch in that 250,000 workers in the agricultural sector were left unemployed because they were chased away from these farms. And once that happened, the whole economic decline from that time became the order of the day. And for the Zimbabwe Congress of Trade Unions, which had formed, in fact, it had facilitated the formation of an opposition political party in the name of the Movement for Democratic Change. And from that time, the government didn't forgive the ZCTU for forming a labor-backed political party. And therefore, from that time on, we have had running battles with the government, at times being arrested, at times being tortured, and the most severe torture that existed was on the 13th of September in 2006, where 15 of the leadership of the ZCTU, including myself, were thoroughly tortured, beaten, to the extent that some of our colleagues have got broken limbs as we speak. And for me alone, I won't speak of myself, but I would assure you that this body here is no longer the body it used to be, because it has been battered. And this has been the consequences of our struggle. We still continue to struggle for our basic freedoms. For example, the Zimbabwean government has promulgated various legal instruments which aimed to stifle the operations of the trade unions. And from time to time, almost every year, we are in jail, we are out of jail, we are in jail, we are out of jail. And this has been the process that we are now used to. And even this year, on the 1st of May, when I made a public plea to the authorities to cease violence, where thousands of people were tortured and hundreds of people were murdered during the run-up to the presidential elections of the 27th of June, we have seen all this, and I made a plea to the authorities to stop killing Zimbabweans, because it was never going to save anybody. And because of that, I was arrested again together with our General Secretary, and we spent 2 weeks in prison, obviously against the Constitution, which stipulates that a person should be tried within 48 hours. And of course, that has always been the case. And that case still remains with us, and we have applied to the Supreme Court so that the Supreme Court can judge and make this as part of the record that the Constitution of Zimbabwe requires every person to have the freedom of speech. And this case will be heard on the 5th of December this year in the Supreme Court. But of course, we are also, we don't necessarily expect a positive outcome, because the judiciary itself, its position has been compromised in that there are some of, in fact, all of them have been given land which they did not buy. And obviously, when it comes to judicial decisions, we always hold these decisions with suspicion, because there is always a payback time, and some of these situations really have never been good to us. So basically, we now see the Zimbabwean economy having failed, literally, in that as I speak now, there is no water in Zimbabwe, there is no electricity in Zimbabwe, there are no drugs, no medicines, there is nothing. There is a famine in Zimbabwe. And I think the whole world needed to appreciate the fact that the situation in Zimbabwe is not as soft as they would want to take it. We need real approach, a vigorous approach from the international community, both from the labor movement and from the governments of the world, to make sure that at least the situation in Zimbabwe is dealt with effectively. So basically, these are the few issues about Zimbabwe that I can talk, unless if there are questions.